We're really happy to be part of the festival. It's Blue Sky lives here in this region. We're part of this part of the world with you guys, and it's just fun to finally have an opportunity to participate in the festival and to participate in the spirit of the festival, which is really kind of the roots of our company. We've grown quite a bit, and we may seem more commercial than many of the films that you see at the festival, but believe me, we came from humble beginnings. I'm one of the co-founders and the creative director of Blue Sky. 6 of us started the company about 25 years ago with our own pocket change and kind of scraped and built the company up on revenues from television commercials and that sort of thing. At Blue Sky, we have over 400 people that come to the studio every day and work together to create these movies. As the company grows, each of the jobs become more specific and disciplines, and people tend to become more specialized in their own area. But behind every movie is always a creative inspiration, a vision, and that comes from the director and the creative people that the director surrounds themselves with.
Well, you know, with sequences like this, a lot of it's really, actually, I would say a lot of it really is happening with the cinematography. The camera is so active, and it's a character on its own, and it really is like half the energy right there when the camera is moving and you have like the handheld feel about it. But with regards to the animation, you know, there's our main character's on the motorbike, and basically what I did was I ended up assigning those shots, because the shots were so quick, I ended up assigning, let's say, 5 shots altogether to one person. That way the continuity was much easier, and since the shots were quicker, the setup time would be kind of cut down because the same person would use the same setup for the 5 shots. I just made working on that a lot easier. And then, of course, we also had the background, the ancillary guys that are walking about and kind of just talking and milling about. That was also treated as another layer by the background animation crew. So we would have our principal animators take care of the principal action that was happening, and then we would have a background crew that would kind of go over it again and take care of just the ambiance and make sure there's life in the city, in the favelas. And redesigning an animation so that he looked more consistent in 3D shots than it actually does in the model. Like, even if you took the one model and turned it around, you wouldn't get the same blue from the front that you would from the side. It just felt like a different character. So, you know, there's just some of the sleight of hands that we have to do in our department.
If you can make something that looks indistinguishable from reality, then you can start to create things which are very fantastical, but look like they could exist in reality, like Inception or, you know, those kinds of visualizations. And, you know, so if you can replicate reality, then you can make the non-real look real.
You know, in live action, you have the camera and the action's being shot, and that's it. That's your take. In animation, we can actually animate it, and if the eye line goes beyond the frame, we want to keep the eye line in there, Renato and his camera guys can actually readjust the camera on the fly, and it'll still hold up, you know, and that's really nice that he can compose on the fly, and maybe the performance is actually done, and he still has a chance to compose it, which is really nice.
It's all recreated. Nothing is real. There's no photography reference there. It's all recreated in CG. So the most that you could get in live action footage to show to everyone, from design to animation, all the departments, they would be really inspirational in the cinematography side. For example, even the lighting. How is the light in Rio? It's very different than other places.
Renato and his team would just go in there and treat it like it's a real environment and choreograph basically what the action is and kind of start composing and start stringing together the shots and sending it to editorial.
Too caught up in our own BS, and sometimes you know, we'll love something and we'll love it because, you know, for the same reason like high school kids love watching Music Man with their friends in it. You know, it's not about the play; it's about their friends. And so, I mean, you have to watch out for a little bit of that. Sometimes the guys are way too inside, and they're not going to. And for, you know, that kind of objectivity, it's good to have really talented, objective executives watch. So, you know, the studio is comprised of the people that are going to, like, put, you know, tens of millions of dollars of their resources in, tens of millions more of their resources into marketplace, stake their reputation with other, people that are going to license our idea and help us market it, stake their reputation on getting, other talent actors and all that stuff. So they'll take a look at something and say, I don't get it. And you'll say, stupid, and then you'll realize, and then try to articulate what they're saying, and then you'll realize, that wasn't coming across right. Or they'll say, like, here's what I thought you were, when you pitched this to me, here's what I thought you were going to do, and I'm going, maybe that is a little clearer.
How do you see animation making its way into the independent film industry?
Actually, that's a great question. Animation, it typically takes hundreds of people to make a feature film anyway, and a long time. But technology is really making it much, much more direct and easier for people to make more imagery faster. And I think there's going to come a time when the technology is fast enough and cheap enough, and there are enough people out there that are trained up in it, and it's almost here,